The chaos continues in Afghanistan. Refugee organizations in Chicago bracing for what is next. CBS 2's Asal Rezai reports a surge of Afghan refugees is expected here in the coming weeks. Asal.
Brad, right now, refugee organizations across Chicago are making sure they have everything in place for Afghans that are and will be seeking refuge. Refugee One is joining with other organizations and getting ready to take on a surge of refugees from Afghanistan.
Things have been changing in Afghanistan day by day, and the situation is really tragic. We have some individuals that we work with here who we've already welcomed from Afghanistan in the past few years who still have family there.
Jim Porter is in charge of advocacy for Refugee One in Chicago. He says they have the capacity to help at least 700 refugees if they can get here.
But we do anticipate seeing an influx in individuals coming from Afghanistan. Some will come as refugees, but the majority will come as special immigrant visa holders. We call them SIVs.
SIVs are typically people who have helped the U.S. forces overseas as either interpreters, guides, or clerks. Getting them out of Afghanistan is a top priority. It's the same story for the Middle Eastern Immigrant and Refugee Alliance, who say they expect the refugee surge to be similar to the Syrian and Iraqi crisis about 10 years ago.
We started in the same kind of situation with SIVs coming from Iraq in 2008, 2009. And so we're really preparing for that same kind of process of helping people who maybe know a lot of Americans.
For now, these organizations are working together to help the families that are already here get in touch with their families overseas.
One of the gentlemen that we work with, he and his wife and children recently became U.S. citizens. They've been here for a little over 5 years now. But his wife and his daughters were actually in Afghanistan visiting this last week when everything happened. And so we've been trying to work with U.S. intelligence agencies.
The Middle Eastern Immigrant and Refugee Alliance also saying that they have the capacity to help up to 1,000 families. Those families would be placed in affordable housing throughout the city. The uncertainty still lies in how and when they can get those families out of Afghanistan and to Chicago. I'm live in Westridge. Asal Rezai, CBS 2 News.